Hey guys, this is Chris, and today I have the Fimi X8 SE 2020. Now, I've taken a break from my channel since June after my mom's passing, and have not flown this at all. So before I put it away, I was not happy with this quad at all. I expected better things with this being a new 2020 version. What I found was they did get rid of some of the overexposure that we had in your image, in the dark edges that we had, but they turned that into a little overexposure on the clouds. The clouds are always just blown out. If you look at other people's videos on this quad, most of the time you'll see in a majority of the videos the clouds are completely blown out. Unless you can get this to a darker image to where you can pick those clouds up and still edit. So we'll find out. But I'm updated on all the latest firmware, and the things I'm looking for is I'm going to look to see if the clouds are all blown out and overexposed, and if they are something that I can get and pick them up to where they actually look like clouds. Then I also want to see what it does to my ground view. A lot of times when you get the clouds the way you want them, your ground view is darker. You lighten up your ground view, you blow out the clouds. So I want to see if that's all changed in the camera settings, and see if we have a much better image there. The other thing is that damn horizon. So when you're flying, your quad's perfectly flat and your horizon tilts. That was a big disappointment when I saw it was still a problem with this quad versus the 2018 version. So I'm hoping that that's gone, and I've done all my calibrations. I did a full 6-side calibration. I did a compass calibration. I did a gimbal calibration, and adjusted it manually to make sure it was dead on center or level. So that should be all set, and then if it goes out of whack, we still have a problem. So hopefully that's gone. Hopefully the clouds aren't all blown out. And then the last thing is when you turn, it tends to over travel. At least mine does. I don't see a lot of people talking about this, but things like this that are repetitive and they happen every time, I don't see it being something where it's just me that has this problem. So what that means is when I turn, I'll go to turn, and then when I let off the stick, it'll travel a little more before it stops. Then I turn back the other way, let off the stick, and it'll continue traveling a little more before it stops. So it's over traveling, it's overcompensating. So you have to compensate for that and stop a little short on the stick where you want the quad to stop. Not a huge problem, not a big deal to me, because I can compensate for it most of the time. And in your editing, you don't have to show that part of the turn. You can edit those kind of things out if you're trying to get some nice little cinematic shots. You don't want those kind of turns in your shot, so you can edit those things out. So that's it. Let's go ahead and just get in with the flights. I'm running like 4 batteries today. I'm going to cover this whole area all around. I'm going to try to get out in some long distance areas where there's farms, beautiful fields and farms, countryside, all this nice color, which you really can't see where I'm at now. It's still kind of green, but everything around me is just a full palette of color. So hopefully I'll have a nice flight video following this video. And this video is mainly going to be just to see where we are right now with the updates, since I've been away from it for a while, and if I'm happy with it or not. So that's this video, and then the next video hopefully we'll have all the terrain around me and just do a nice flight and try to put together a really nice video if this thing is producing that quality. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, thumbs up on your way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and always hit that bell for future content and notification, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care, peace and love. Okay, we're out here on a pretty windy, gusty day. Winds just calmed down a little bit, but we're going to fly the Fimi X8 SE and see how things have improved, as I've not been flying this for many months. So as you can see here, the clouds are always blown out on this quad, and I do have my camera set in manual mode here. Now I do, but we have it at the video at set for video, not HDR, 4K 30 frames per second. We're going to put video quality high, and then it's set for a sunny day. I don't like to do auto because, of course, flying over the water and the tree colors and the sky, it's going to be all over the place. And then the color is set for general. And then when we go into the manual, I've got the ISO at 100. You go any higher, you're really going to blow it out. So we're at 100, and then 4K 30 frames per second. If you go down to 120, it's really blown out. The greens and the trees and all that look great, but it blows everything else out. So 320, a little better there, and I just keep getting darker. So in order to get those clouds, I really have to go up high here. Like 640 is where the clouds look a little more like clouds. So let's start out right here, and once I'm up, let's see if the ground gets brighter, because right now we're down low, it's going to look dark. We'll start out here and see what it does. So am I ready to take off? So I'm in return to home mode, and we're not ready yet. Probably where I have it setting is the reason why, so let's move. I'll just hand launch it here. And let's take off. Start my recording. And let's take it up. Okay, so get up a little higher here, and then we'll angle it down. So about 200 feet. Let's bring our horizon out of the picture a little bit. And it doesn't look too bad. It's definitely darker than it should be down below, but that might be something that I can mess with and edit. It's better to be on the dark side and have good clouds in your view. So if I've got blown out, overexposed clouds, there's nothing I can do in that and editing the video. So a darker image is usually your friend when it comes to editing. So I'm going to stick with that. And we're going to be looking at some of the past issues of the horizon being crooked. Right now it's nice and straight, as you can see. So we're going to just fly on out, and let's see what we get here. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up more in altitude, hopefully try to brighten up that ground a little bit there. Now it's a little bit hard to judge the horizon, so you're going to have to go by the water. Oops, over 400. Okay. The horizon does go up to the right a little bit, but not that far. So it is off. Now let's just stop and let it hover, and then see if that horizon settles down. And it is a little windy out here today, so you can see the horizon is going back slow, real slow. It's settling out. So we're going to let that even out a little bit. Sometimes if you turn left and right, you can kind of get it to go back faster, but we're just going to sit here and let it go naturally. It's slowly settling. So there is still a horizon issue with this. And the camera I'm still not crazy about, but if this turns out good in editing, then it's at least something to work with. And now we have our horizon pretty well set back where it should be. And we're gonna just bring it about right there. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get myself in behind my car here to where you can't hear the wind so much, but it's kind of unavoidable. It is very windy today. So let's go ahead and fly out. We'll do some turns and stuff and see how it looks. We'll try to follow the sun, get some good views here. So let's go over here to the left. It still over travels a little bit when I let off the stick. So as I'm turning left and let off the stick, it will over travel. You kind of just have to learn how to overcompensate by stopping sooner so you don't pass up where you want to stop. But the color's looking pretty good. There's some beautiful fall foliage going on here. Looks pretty good right here. Let's go over to the right. And over travels. Horizon seems to be holding up. If you look at the ground, it's level. The terrain ahead is kind of hard to judge. It might be tilted a little bit. Yeah, it's tilted a little bit. If you look at the ground there, it's tilted. The right side is a little higher. So it seems like if you turn right, the right side of your screen goes up on the gimbal. It throws it off. So let's give it a little twitch to the left here. And then slow pan to the right. It's still up a little bit. If you look at that patch of land directly ahead, that little bare spot. Oop, just lost signal. Let's get this signal back. There we go. I gotta stop hiding behind my car. All right, so I'm gonna get that patch of land in the center. It is actually level. So it's very hard to judge out here, but it's if you look at that, that's level. But keeping that in the middle, let's show you what it's doing when I pan left and right here. And I'm going to tell you when I let off the stick, and then you'll see how it over travels. So go right, let off stick, still traveling. Go left, a little lighter this time, still traveling. Kind of breaking up in my signal here a little bit. See if I can get on higher ground. All right, so pan to the right a little bit here. Let off stick, still travels. Left. Let off stick, still traveling. So it's overcompensating for what I'm doing in my commands. So it still has that problem. I would think that would be an easy firmware fix, but it doesn't appear to be so, because it was doing this back in June when I first was flying, or when I last flew, I'm sorry, and it's still doing it now. Camera quality does seem to have gotten better with this guy, so I'm happy with that. It's got some beautiful color down there. I might be a little on the dark side. So I've got my props in view now. Let's tilt down a little bit and just fly this way. Horizon's holding. So far I'm going to say horizon is still an issue. It still does go crooked, but nothing near what it was. Nothing near what it was. It has improved a good bit, and like I said, it is very windy out here today. I'm running pretty consistent 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's based off of the app, and what I'm feeling, it matches up. You can hear the Canadian geese overhead. That's nice with the sun down there. I don't have my stick controls or anything adjusted for sensitivity, so they're a little bit touchy on my turning here. Let's take a look down. And I should also say I have a CPL filter on. I forgot to mention that, but I do have a CPL filter on. Signal's not really good when I'm coming up over this. That looks a bit dark right there for sure. So I mean, typically I could stop and adjust my settings right now. It's also hard because the sun is going in and out, so it's definitely the sun's behind the clouds right now. But let's go and change. Let's drop this down a little. Gotta stop recording. 320 is still not great, but we'll play with it right here at 320. And let's bring this down a little bit. Now you got to remember, I'm keeping it on the dark side because the clouds get blown out if I don't. So where I would normally shoot, I can't. We still got 46% battery here. So let's stop right here, see if the horizon settles down. And slowly it's getting nice and straight. So it does settle down nicely. There they are.
So in the end, what we have is still have a horizon issue, not as bad as I've experienced in the past. And camera quality has gotten better. You've got to play with the camera settings manually to get it, but if you run on the darker side, you can see you can edit to your preference. And we still have the over travel, which is not a big killer for me, but not something you want to pay for either. So she's not perfect, but much better than it was. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.